panel, so you need to tell them who you are and your character.
Yeah.
What do you mean you weren't at the panel? What happened?
I had another one of these.
Oh, God, you've been stuck here all day?
Yeah.
Sorry, probably past 4 days or 3 days.
I was at the panel,
Okay,
but I had
good.
to run like hell to get over here in time.
Oh, well, I'm BrianVanHolt. Hi, how are you? I play Captain William Dellinger, captain of the ship Ascension. There you go.
Tell us a little bit more about your character. What you can reveal.
What I can reveal? Well, he's the leader of the a small country in a sense. He's like a president of a small country. He's responsible for 600 people and their safety from external elements as well as internal. He's a very strong-willed, confident, ambitious, and competent man, but he's also very conflicted. He's got a dark side. Very complicated man, you know, with such responsibility and power. It comes opportunity to, you know, be for corruption or immoral behavior and decisions, and he struggles with some of those issues. You know, I wish I could reveal more exactly, but that's pretty much what I have to do right now. I don't want to give it away.
Trisha said you guys had to work your way up. I think the social ladder to get to where you are.
She speaks for herself, not me. I don't know what ladder she's climbed, but I know.
So, did you inherit the captainship?
Yeah.
I did. Well, I did inherit the captainship through. You know, Philip talks about it, and I think in episode 1 or 2 we just finished we wrapped last night actually the pilot. I don't remember exactly which one it falls under, but you know, through an act of heroism, you know, I was given the captain's chair, but I think my character was you know, ambitious enough to seek such a role out in the position, and I think it just came to him a little earlier than he expected.
Are you given that position by the council?
The council did, yes. And that's a great question for Phil, but from what I understand is yes. And my character too, there was, you know, I think Trisha's character, you know, Leandra was from the lower decks. And my character wasn't from the lower decks. And then sometimes she said that we're both from the lower decks and we both got to it, but my character is, she was and I wasn't. Because I do use that against her in future scenes and episodes where, you know, the threat of going back to the lower decks, I wonder if that appeals to her, so she better start behaving. Hey, this takes place in we launched in 1963, so some of those elements come in play for the male chauvinism and the dynamics between men and women are addressed in this and on the show. You know, we launched, and you know, the story comes in at the 50-year mark of a 100-year journey. We were launched in 1963. So, and that's the last. That's where we started. And we've stayed kind of stuck in that time era. And so, with that, you have some similar social behavior and positions that were in play at 1963. I don't know. I wasn't born yet. I was born on the ship, but it was just passed down. What you've learned. You're a product of your environment, and environment is in the capsule. Self-sustaining one.
So what was it like for you when you first checked out the giant set?
I was blown away. I mean, I've been a part of some pretty big movies, and I've never been on a set or seen anything like this. It's beautiful. It's mind-boggling. It's awe-inspiring. I walked on the set the first time. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit, this is massive. I've never seen anything like it, and it gets better and better. It's you know, when we were shooting the pilot, like I said, we literally just finished last night. We're still building some of the stuff and still painting. Like, you know, we waited for the paint to dry on a few of the sets before we started shooting. No joke. But what they've done, it's incredible. I mean, I'm so impressed. Like I said, it's massive. It's the biggest set I've ever seen. It feels like I'm a part of like $200 million movie. You know, there's a lot invested in the show, you know, on every level, and that being one of them.
What appealed to you about the script when you first saw it?
Well, first, it's a departure from what I've been doing for the past 5 years, and I'm all, and it's, I'm on the bridge as well, and it's definitely different than Cougar Town, but this is just a different character, more of a leading man, straight, and I wanted to add a little complexity to him too, but I looked at it as challenging and out of my comfort zone. I'm more comfortable playing these damaged characters, and these misfits and tortured, wounded birds, whatever you want to call them. But I've never really done this kind of role before, and so that's what interests. That's one thing. But the main thing is Philip. Working with Philip, he's such a smart man and so intelligent and so well read, and just a wealth of knowledge that I met him socially first before any of this started happening. And halfway through the conversation, I had to sit next to him, a couple of glasses of wine, and just talking about life and stuff. I asked him, you have to be a writer. You speak like a writer. You're so smart. You know what you're talking about. He's like, yeah, but I didn't know who he was. And we hit it off that night. And so 6 months later, he's like, I couldn't get anybody out of my mind to play this role, and I want you to play this role. And I'm like, if it's with you and your brain, and tell me where the show's going. And he told me a couple of things here and there about where his ideas were. And I'm like, that sounds crazy, and I want to be a part of it. I would love it.
Are you a fan of SyFy?
I am. I mean, I am. Not really. I mean, not. You wouldn't think, but I am. I did a show before called Threshold. It didn't last that long. That was, there's only another show that I've participated in. But I like science fiction. I think the audience too. It's smarter. It's more thought provoking. So yeah.
Would you get on the ship if it were happening today?
Would I get on?
Actually want to, be part of a crew for something like that?
Such a good question. This crew, hell no.
Okay, tape rolling.
Yeah, right. Cut, delete. I don't know, man. I don't know. If I was, I don't have a family. I'm not married, nor do I have kids, but I still have families. My family's here. It'd be hard to leave my family, but it would also be, knowing me, that I might. I just might, actually.
Because it's something that's being addressed now.
For sure.
The idea of sending
Yeah.
people to Mars. I mean,
I think
especially because that wouldn't be a return.
That'd be a noble thing to do. Hey, Alex is calling. You want to get it? Sorry, Alex. Don't worry, don't get it. We're in the middle of it. I'm just... They got to say, Alex, hottie from bar 3 the other night. If you looked on my phone, it's... Just kidding. Don't print that, please. But I think, after thinking about it for a second, that would be a noble and an interesting thing to be a part of. I would consider it for sure.
How do you relate to your character?
That's a great question. I'm finding him as I go along. I can relate to certain responsibilities that he has and conflictions, like the complexity of his in his turmoil his inner turmoil. But I'm also discovering him as I go along. It's part of my process. I find it, and I'm finding it. So there's a vulnerability to him too that I just discovered the other day doing a scene with Trisha that I can definitely relate to. So hope that answers your question.
I know you're only 3 or 4 scripts into it. Do you know that she's having an affair on you?
So right now, I mean, of course I do. Brian does, but the Captain Dennis.
That's what I meant.
I know.
Character.
Oh, I get them mixed up. I relate so well to my character. I get us mixed up sometimes. I don't know who I'm talking about. I sense it. I have a feeling. I don't have confirmation, and I don't know for sure just yet. I do find out later. And right now, we wrapped the pilot, so at the end of the second episode, the first 2-hour pilot, I'm intuiting it, and that's where you see my insecurities arise and my vulnerability comes up, and I'm addressing her. I'm wondering. I'm feeling a little insecure about it. I worry about it. I think that something's going on, but I'm not quite sure.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Gotta cut them out.
Thank you.